Hello everyone, it's Lottie from Cozy Paper Trails here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you all the pages that I completed during the month of April. I've written down the pages from each book that I have done. I've coloured a total of 15 pages and 8 of them were Disney colour by number books. So it's probably about half Disney colour by number and half other pages, which is quite a good balance because I really enjoy the colour by numbers in between other pages. I'm going to start with all of the ones which are not colour by number. So I'm just going to go through the pile. They're not in any particular order. They're not in the order that I have coloured them in. I'm just going to grab a book and just go from there. So the first book, well not the first book, but the first one I'm going to show you that I coloured in is Boule de Poire by, I don't know who the illustrator is actually. I do know it's like Diane Dufour, there we go. And this is just a little bit, as you can see, it's about the size of my hand, so it's a good palette cleanser in between other pages. And I did this page, which I know is not a very springy page, but I just felt like opening the book and doing a random page, and I did this one. I based it with Albrecht Dürer watercolour pencils, and then I went over the top with some polychromos. I mean, it's a little patchy still because I kind of wanted it to look a little bit like watercolory. So I think with this book I'm going to be using a lot of water mediums and then just a little bit of coloured pencil on top and just give it that kind of like sketchy look, because I think that's the style that the images are. So I feel like I'm just gonna do that and just keep the whole book this little sketchy style. I might continue to just use the Albrecht Dürer and polychromos in this book potentially, because I really like how it turned out. It looks really cute, and this did not take me very long at all, so that is a bonus. I like a quick page. So that is Boule de Poire. And then I did a page in the Africa book by Rita Berman, and I did, let me find it, this page, the Lima page, and I love how bright this turned out. I used the Castell Arts coloured pencils, the soft touch ones, for this page, and that's all I used for the entire page. And I do really like how they work in this book, and I love the brightness of the colours. They've blended together really well, but I feel like I could have done a bit better with the blending. But I don't know if you can see kind of a little bit of the paper underneath, but as a whole it looks really good. I really like the colours. What I did, I think I found a colour palette on Pinterest, and I just went through and stuck to that colour palette pretty much, which I'm really pleased with, because normally, yeah, I really struggle with colour picking, but I think I did a really good job with that page. And I have written down all of the pencils that I used for this page, because then I thought eventually I could do this page here with the exact same colours so that it sort of matches really well and it looks like a really cohesive double page. I feel like that will look really cool, and it just look really tropical. I like the tropical vibe of this page. I do really like this book. I love the kind of more tropically type ones because you can do really bright colours. In this book I'm not as keen on these Egyptian pages, just because the colours won't be very bright, will they? They'd be quite muted. I mean, you could do them very brightly, you could do whatever you want, but if you're doing it quite realistically it would be quite dark colours. But anyway, getting off topic, that is the page that I completed in Rita Berman's Africa book. And then I completed a page in So Many Cute Animals by Kimmer Parrish. And again, I used the Castell Art soft touch pencils for this page. And I did this one, the little dogs. And I do like how this turned out, but I'm not too keen on the kind of colours of some of the animals. I like these kind of greys and whites, but like that one, and that one I think look good, but I think the blacks and that browns maybe a little bit harsh for the page. I'm not really sure, but it still looks really cute. And when I first started laying the pencils down on this page, I thought these pencils don't work very well in this book. I was a bit like, oh, I'm not too sure about this. But once I got into it, I actually really enjoyed using the Castell Arts pencils on this page, like in this book. So I think I would continue to use them in this book, but I really like her art style. I've done a flip through on my YouTube channel of this book because I feel like it's very underrated. I don't see a lot of people with any book by Kimmer Parrish on YouTube really. I've only seen a couple of people maybe have one of her books. And I just think the art style is so cute. And I feel like it should get more love. So I have done a flip through on my channel if you are interested in that. I'll try and link it in the description below if I remember. But anyway, that is the page that I completed in this one. And then A Million Baby Animals by Lulu Mayo. I try and colour in at least one Lulu Mayo book, or like do one Lulu Mayo page per month, because I really like her art style and I find them really fun to colour. So I ended up just doing the title page. I copied the colours off the front cover here, but I just didn't add in the green background because I couldn't be bothered, to be honest, and I thought it looked really nice how it is. I think I used the Castell Art Soft Touch pencils again. I've used them a lot this month. And then I used lots of gold gel pen to like add details, like the stars in the hair, the hats, the centre of the flowers and bits like that. I think that turned out really, really cute. I like the way the shading on the deers turned out as well. And on the hair, yeah, I just think it turned out really nice. I just felt like copying the title page. It was a nice easy colour, didn't take me super long. And then I want to do this one as well at some point and kind of follow a similar colour palette to this, I think, and just, yeah, get that done. But I was really happy with how that turned out. And then I coloured a page in Fuzzy Hugo, is it pronounced? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, by Vivi Tinta. And a lot of people use alcohol markers in this book, but a couple of my friends had this book and they said that it sucks up alcohol markers and it made a lot of their alcohol markers run out really quickly. So I thought I didn't really want to use them in here for that reason. So I ended up, I did this title page, which I'm not counting this as a page, so this one doesn't count. I mean, it could do, but I'm not going to. And that is how that one turned out. It looks pretty cute. You can see here, you can see some of the paper underneath, like it's not filled in the tooth completely, but it still looks really, really cute. I do like how it looks with pencils. And then the whole complete page that I did was, I was gonna do this bit and then I just couldn't be bothered, so I did a full page. And I did this one, and I actually used someone else's image off Pinterest, and I can't tell you who it is because I can't remember, but I used their colours and everything. They did use alcohol markers for theirs, I think, but I tried to recreate it as best I could, and I think it looks really cute. I like how it turned out with the pencils. I tried to add like some shadows around the animals, and I did some white gel pen. And then just a few like lighting effects around the candle and the lights up here. I think it looks really cute. And the steam on the coffee cups. So yeah, that's that page. It did take quite a while with pencils, whereas there's alcohol markers it would have been a lot quicker, but I am really pleased with how it looks. And then I completed a page in Romantic Country by Eerie, and I have not coloured in this book in such a long time. I had a whip in here from about 6 or 7 years ago, and I just randomly felt like coming back to it. I was flicking through this book trying to think of something to do in here, and I just ended up finishing off a long-term whip, which is this. And I'm not really that pleased with how this turned out. It just looks a little bit flat. Oh, hello Loki, as usual, coming to say hello. Yeah, it's not my best work, but it was one that I started a long time ago, and I remember I used Albrecht Dürer watercolour pencils, so that is what I used for this. I literally just used the Albrecht Dürer watercolour pencils and then just added a little bit of shading on top with polychromos. And it looks okay. I quite like this middle section. I just hate this around the edge because of how scruffy that looks. You can see there, I just rushed it at the end because I couldn't be bothered. But I do like the watercolour effect. I just think I need to learn my technique with watercolours a little bit better, and I think the watercolour like brush pens I was using weren't the best, so I probably would use some different brushes. I quite like how this roof turned out. I think that looks quite cool. The effect that I did on that I quite like, and the tree isn't too bad, I guess, but I don't know, I need to sort of work out a technique. But my thought was I wanted to work in this whole book with watercolour pencils and make it look kind of sketchy, but I just need to like perfect my technique really, because I'm not super happy with it. But yeah, it's okay, it's not bad, it's a page done. And I've got this one, which is a whip as well, which I was using Albrecht Dürer pencils, which I started again about 6 or 7 years ago. So I'll have to come back to this at some point and finish this off. And I guess it gives me some practice with leaves and things like that. So I've done those two, with the base of those two, I just need to go over it with pencils and then just complete the other little bits and bobs. So I'll probably get back to that at some point. But yeah, it's okay. It makes the paper crinkle a little bit, but then I guess that kind of just adds to the sketchiness of it, I guess. I don't know, but it's quite cute. And then I finished a page in Leon's Journey, which I had started in March, and then I finished it in April. And it is this spring kind of scene with the lambs and everything. And yeah, it is really cute. I like how this turned out. I did spend quite a lot of time on this piece. I did get ChatGPT to help me with some colour combos because I was struggling a little bit of how to make things look realistic and stuff, and he suggested to me, I call it a he, I don't know why I call it a he, but anyway, he told me to do it green like this using these colours, and I'm not really too sure. I probably wouldn't have picked out that, to be perfectly honest. I probably would have done it just a wood colour or like a blue maybe to pick out the colour of the picnic blanket maybe, but yeah, it's okay. And that's my first kind of full page in Leon's Journey. I'd done before the character page, which I really like. I'm going to try and stick to these colours for the characters because I thought they came out really nicely. But yeah, that's my first like full page, and I'm hopefully during May I'm going to get done like another springy kind of summary page, or at least part of it. If you watch my May plans video, you'll see kind of what pages I'm leaning towards. But yeah, that is that one, and that was all done using Faber Castell polychromos. And now moving on to my Disney Colour by Number books. In all of my Disney Colour by Number books I use Crayola Supertips, and then I also use a black Arteza acrylic paint pen for the black lines. So I'm just going to quickly go through these. I did one page in Grand Classiques Tome 10. I did this one, and I don't actually know what film this is from. I've not seen it, never heard of it, but I coloured that one because I work in all this in order. So I've done 41 pages in this book. I'm nearly halfway, so that's really good. I'm just trying to slowly get through these and hopefully have the whole book completed at some point, which will be really cool. But yeah, that's how that one turned out. And then in Tome 11 I did a few pages. So I did this page here, which isn't quite completed, but I'm gonna count it in this video as complete because all I need to do is this one colour. But I didn't have a colour that matched very well. And then for my birthday a few days ago, I got the 150 set of Crayola Supertips. I will be putting a haul up soon as well. But yeah, I need to just pick a colour out of that because it's got some colours that I didn't have in it. So I just need to pick one of those colours and do the background, complete this page. But I'm calling it as done. I didn't particularly enjoy doing this page because there's a lot of brown and these horrible mustardy, sludgy colours, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm glad it's done. Didn't take me too long, I don't think, but yeah, it wasn't one of my favourites. And then I also completed these two pages. So I did the Tinkerbell page here, which I actually made a slight mistake in. I've got there, I need to kind of cover that up with an acrylic marker or something. I did the wrong kind of colour there, but yeah, that one looks all right. And then I did the frozen page, which I like how this one turned out as well. I really enjoyed doing that one. I liked all the bright colours in this one, and there wasn't any like big areas to colour. So I enjoyed that one. And then next up we've got Princesses Volume 2. I did a couple in here. I think I did three. I did this aerial page, and the dress looks very, very streaky. I have since then actually figured out a technique which works quite well to prevent these streaks, or like make them look less noticeable. So I have started to do that from now really, but it still looks really cool. I like this house in the background. Yeah. And then I got this one, which took me a very, very long time. It's this double Pocahontas spread. And I don't really enjoy doing pages like this that have all these little bits you've got to work around in the background. I'm not a huge fan of these sort of pages. I feel like they just take me so long and they're really tedious, and I don't enjoy them as much. And I think I've colour matched some of the colours quite badly. If you look at these solutions, my colours look very different to the solutions, but it's okay. It still looks all right. And then I also did this one. This Rapunzel page, and this one looks really cute. I like this one. It's just annoying doing the background with all these tiny little dots that you have to go around, and also the colours of this one I've done. The background looks very, very different in the solutions than what I did, but it's okay. And I also messed up her skin a little bit. I used the wrong kind of brown tone here. Like, I don't think that turned out the greatest, but it's not too bad. It is what it is. I still like it. I just had a lot of colours in for a single page, but yeah, I like that one still. And then I've only got one page left to show you, which is in Petit Poupée, and this is one of these small like square books, and I completed this aerial page, and I really love how this looks. It looks so good. I really struggled with this because I really struggled with this because a lot of the colours are very muted tones, and the Crayola Supertips don't have many of those sorts of tones. So I have sort of, some of the colours are a bit different than they are in the solutions, and then also a couple of the greens I have used more than once. When you're actually supposed to use like two different types of greens, I actually ended up using the same type of green for different parts, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. And normally I would do the black lines at the end, but I actually did the black lines halfway through this piece because I was struggling with all these little tiny bits and bobs down here. So I ended up just doing the black outlines first and then colouring in all the little elements. And I found that actually quite a lot easier than my usual way. So I think I might start doing the black outlines first, you know. It makes them a lot easier to complete. But that is that page, and I really like the style in this book. They're really different than the normal colour by numbers, the art style, but it looks super, super cute. So that is all of the pages that I completed in the month of April. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments below which of these pages was your favourite and why. I would love to know your opinions on that. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye for now.